Most people camp where it's safe, where the ground is level, the air is calm, and the night is predictable, but not us. We wanted to push the limits. We wanted to see what it's really like to take an RV into the kind of place where comfort disappears and survival kicks in. Before we start, hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to watch isn't just a trip, it's a warning, a lesson, and a story you'll never forget. It all started with a simple question: how far can we really go? Not metaphorically, literally. How far off the grid can we push this RV before we hit the edge of the road, the forest, or ourselves? We weren't interested in campgrounds with Wi-Fi. We weren't looking for picnic tables or hookups. We wanted the raw, untouched wilderness. The kind of spot where even experienced hikers say, maybe not here. The decision came after days of scanning maps and satellite images, searching for a location that was both reachable and wild enough to challenge us. We found it buried deep in the mountains, no name, no official campsite, no reviews. Just a faint dirt path leading to an open patch of land miles from civilization. It looked peaceful from above, but the satellite doesn't show slopes, loose gravel, unstable ground, or the things that lurk after dark. The drive toward the area already felt different. The paved road ended way sooner than expected. The gravel road was rougher, narrower, and more unpredictable than we imagined. Trees hung low, branches scraped the RV, and rocks jutted out from angles that made every turn feel like a gamble. Every bump shook the cabinets. Every dip made something inside crash or clatter. But we kept going. Eventually, the road faded into a single-lane trail, more like something a bike could handle. Not a full-sized RV. Turning back wasn't an option. The trees formed a tunnel around us. The sunlight thinned, and then we reached the clearing. A massive, isolated valley surrounded by steep ridges and thick forest. Completely silent except for the wind. This was it. We parked and stepped out, instantly hit by that feeling of being somewhere humans rarely go. No distant cars, no voices, no signals. Just us, our RV, and nature in all its unpredictable glory. It was surreal, beautiful, but unsettling in a way that makes your instincts sharpen. Setting up camp was harder than usual because the ground wasn't flat. The RV leaned slightly. Every time we stepped inside, we felt the angle. We stabilized it as best as we could, double-checking every block and support, hoping the soil wouldn't shift overnight. The air grew colder, fast, much colder than expected. The wind whistled across the valley, shaking the trees hard enough for us to hear branches snapping deeper in the forest. We built a fire early, not for cooking, but because the temperature felt like it dropped 10 degrees in minutes. As the sun went down, the environment changed. It didn't just get dark, it got heavy. A kind of darkness that feels thicker, older, and more alive than the kind you find in normal campsites. The forest filled with sounds, distant cracks, the movement of something large, the scraping of something climbing, the echo of what might have been animals communicating. Each noise came from a different direction. None of them sounded small. Inside the RV, the atmosphere shifted from excitement to hyper-awareness. Every creak of wind pressed against the windows, and the shadows outside flickered as the fire danced. We kept the curtains closed, not because we were scared of what was outside, but because we didn't want to know how close something might be. A few hours into the night, the real test began. The wind picked up so violently that it rocked the RV left and right. It sounded like the entire forest was bending, groaning under the force. We heard thuds, branches hitting the roof and sliding down. Each impact made us flinch. We checked the stabilizers 3 different times, stepping out with flashlights that barely pierced the darkness. The wind swallowed the light, and every step outside felt like stepping into a living, breathing void. Then, around midnight, everything went silent. No wind. No animals, no movement. The temperature dropped even lower, and a thick fog rolled across the valley so fast it looked like something out of a movie. The RV lights created a tiny bubble of visibility, and outside of that, pure white nothingness. That silence was more unsettling than any noise. We tried to sleep, but the body knows when something isn't normal. Every small sound echoed louder. The RV frame clicked from the cold. The fog pressed against the windows like it was trying to seep inside, and then we heard it. A slow, deliberate crunch of footsteps outside, not running, not darting, walking, heavy enough to press into the dirt, slow enough to make it clear that whatever it was aware of us. We froze. The steps circled halfway around the RV, then stopped. Not in front of the door, not at the back right beside the windows where the curtains were drawn. The space between each movement was long, like it was listening, waiting. The fire outside had nearly died out, so the only light came from our small indoor lantern. We didn't dare open the curtains. We didn't dare move too quickly. The RV suddenly felt very thin, like a shell barely protecting us from the unknown outside. After a stretched minute, the footsteps moved away slow at first, then fading into the darkness. Only after 10 minutes of silence did we breathe again. Sleep? Impossible. We stayed awake until dawn, holding on to that quiet fear that sits low in the chest. When the sun finally broke through the fog, we stepped outside to check. The ground around the RV had fresh prints, not boot prints, not paw prints, something in between, something large. We never saw what it was. Morning light made the valley look peaceful again, almost innocent. But after that night, we knew better. This wasn't just camping, this was surviving. This was going somewhere most people wouldn't dare because nature out there isn't decorated or controlled. It's raw, unpredictable. And it's not afraid to remind you that you're only a visitor. Packing up took longer than usual because we were double-checking everything, scanning the tree line, listening for movement. The drive out felt like a victory lap, like we'd earned our way back to civilization. When we finally hit pavement again, the relief was so strong it felt like stepping into a different world. But here's the thing, that trip changed us. It made us respect the wild on a deeper level. It made us understand why most people stick to safe campsites. And it taught us that real adventure begins where comfort ends. If you want more journeys like this, raw, real, and way off the beaten path, hit that subscribe button. We're not done pushing limits. And if the wild wants to test us again, we're ready. On to the next adventure.